What's up, everybody? We back with another message, another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. You know we do nothing here without God because everything is spiritually led by God over here. We cover the world from a spiritual and physical aspect to get the raw, real and uncut answer. So anything you hear, anything you see in these end times, may you test the spirits, aka take the words and visuals back to prayer with God, as there are many Decepticons running around in these end times sent from the enemy. Have that strong, close, and personal relationship with God. Good, great, awesome. And if you are interested in that one-on-one Discord conversation, the information is pinned in the description and in the comments down below. Good, great, awesome. So not too long of a message here, but I do want to give you guys some transparency and a couple of things that the Lord showed me when it came to the enemy, okay? So for starters, earlier this week, the Lord gave me kind of a vision of the enemy, wherever he plans at. And I saw a bunch of dark figures, demonic figures in this area. And the enemy was like kicking and yelling and going crazy, losing it. And the Lord was basically showing me that he was having a form of a meeting with his, whatever you want to call him, because he was so upset. So that's what he showed me. And I thought that was very interesting because what I'm about to share with you guys, transparency wise, it makes sense why the attacks have been so bad. First of all, the Lord knows that all the attacks have been bad. And this is really another test season that he's put us through in this last stretch of things, okay? He's really been testing and looking at people and how they're maneuvering, how they're operating in these tests and looking at these attacks. So the Lord told me to take a rest, you guys, pretty much this whole week. And I told you guys that. The Lord basically put me through a test this week. Now, for me, it was hard for me to kind of just sit back and do nothing because I've been accelerating so quickly for months that when I actually just sat back and did nothing, I know what to do with myself, So the Lord kept telling me to sit my butt down, and y'all heard that thunder in the other message. He said, sit your butt down and go home. And that's what I did. But the attack the enemy did on me, knowing how much I care about my gift and how much I care about this purpose and helping people, he took advantage of something. But he used it to test me. And the only gateway he had, he didn't do the normal dreams and visions. He did something different. And it was a dirty attack. The enemy was coming through and trying to make me feel like I had the potential to lose the gift that God gave me, the ability to hear it so that I could help many people. And me, I'm like, well, for some reason this thought came over me. What if I am on a rest for so long that like I don't even know how to do this anymore, or it's gone? Like that kind of was happening for a couple of split seconds. And I was like, no, what is that? Like, get that out right now. What is that? Get it out of here. So the enemy was really messing with me. And even when it came to this whole blessing, like trying to make me think that I even heard the Lord incorrectly on certain things that we've been talking about, even things that's been confirmed over and over and over for me and many others. Like, so he was really trying to cause doubt and shake my confidence because he doesn't have many gateways, okay, at all. Really, they're all closed. But he does know that the calling over my life means something to me. It means a lot to me. Everything. Having God means everything. Being able to help people and encourage and uplift the body of Christ and do what I do and see all the things that I'm just honored to be able to see ahead of time, it means a lot to me. So the Lord gave me a test, and this test hit so deep and different. Like, I don't know about y'all, but these tests have been really hitting really, really deep. It's like a final boss test, literally, because this one was crazy. God allowed the enemy to do this. So the Lord allowed this to happen. His voice I could hear, but it wasn't as loud, which I'm used to because sometimes it comes as a form of a download. I already know this part. But the thing was, he wasn't speaking as much. And the enemy was really trying to make me think that, I was losing it, like my gift. And the Lord would speak to me and reassure me at times, but the Lord would speak to me in those seconds, because it would be real quick. And it's like I would be focusing in so hard, even though I'm hearing him, I would be second guessing it and focusing in even harder to hear him more loudly, like I normally do. But it wasn't happening. But I knew I was speaking to him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what is happening? But the enemy was really trying to shake up that confidence right before blessings and upgrades and make me really feel like just not confident in the gift anymore, which was really not working. But there were seconds where I'm like, is this happening to me? Because I wasn't used to that. And then made me feel like I was doing something wrong in my resting period. So I just did not know. I was like really not feeling like myself over the past couple of days in certain points. Really, with this whole thing, God was testing me. This was the one way he knew he could test me. And it was just insane. But the Lord had been giving me dreams of confirming the things that he was telling me about that was coming. And he kept telling me through these dreams, but I could remember like a subtle part of the dream that really described and defined the whole dream. But the enemy would try to snatch it so that I wouldn't have encouragement. And I'm just like, what is really happening? But I would definitely feel the Holy Spirit very strongly. So I always knew God was there. But in the last video, I dreamed up a storm and I started remembering everything. And today, he was like almost yelling. It almost sounded like yelling in my ear because I've had passed the test, thank God. Because that was a dirty one from the enemy. Very, very, very intense. And I know God has always been there. And it just made me realize and had him really see how much I really do care even more so about what I do when I'm away from it, with the calls and not doing videos like every day. And so it really makes you value doing it, even though sometimes you be like, oh, I don't feel like getting up and editing this. But that be the part right there. The recording, great, but when you going in and editing and putting things together and doing multiple, you're like, oh, I don't feel like doing that. The Lord was basically telling me that it was hard for him to watch that. He said he didn't like it. He wanted to speak like he normally did, but he had to have that happen, because it was an area that needed to be blocked and covered, and a gateway that needed to be shut down right now. And I'm happy he did it. It helped me. So the Lord just telling me he didn't like it. He didn't like seeing that. He said angels had to like sit there throughout my rest and not make me notice they were there, but they kind of made little rumblings and stuff. I still love them anyway, but they made little rumblings and stuff, because it was even hard for them to watch. And yeah, it was a rough one. That one was a very rough one, y'all. And the Lord been reassuring me all day. He been speaking all day, asking me was I okay, and that he's always going to be there. And I know that, so that's just how much he loves us. He doesn't like to see us go through things. And that's one thing I want to share with you guys. He doesn't like to see us go through things, but we have to go through it to cover gateways and close them and be tested. It's just a part of what we do. And even I'm human. Okay. I might have a gift, but I'm human. Even I have these things, warfare, all of it that I go through, So I just had to be transparent and let y'all know, like, y'all aren't the only ones that's dealing with things. I do too. And that was a tough one for me because I really do care about what I do. I really do. This is very important to me. This is it for me. Like, this is what I was set to do. So it's okay to have moments like this. Don't feel like you're doing anything wrong, or, that's the first thing people think about. I done did something wrong. I don't hear him as much. I don't, that's the enemy. Don't feel like you always doing something wrong. God got a reason why he get kind of quiet sometimes. Okay? So just focus on what's in front of you and focus on the feelings that he's giving you. God gives you those warm and reassuring feelings as well, because he really does love us. Okay? And with this blessing, a lot of people's faith is being shaken up, you know? And this is what I want to say and end off. The prison doors opened up at midnight, but during the process, they was waiting and looking and waiting and looking and waiting and looking. God got his perfect time. So God did not part the Red Sea before Pharaoh and the Egyptians, Moses, and the Israelites were all in that situation. He waited for them to get there when everything looked impossible, because it was a test of faith as well. Moses, what are you crying for? Part it. Not only did Moses and the Israelites walk through in that moment, but God also waited for their adversaries to see it as well. So people in this situation, what we're going through, may not be able to walk through the Red Sea, but they're going to see it. Everybody has to be positioned in some way at the perfect time, including the enemies, the adversaries, or the wicked. You understand? And that's what he helped me see and realize. It's that one opportune moment that he takes where the world sees it. And the spiritual warfare going on in that sole moment with the Israelites and Moses, there was doubt, there was panic. We only see what's written, but we don't see the full everything of how it happened and everybody's facing and who said all these different things. Spiritual warfare. There was a spirit of fear. The enemy was trying to convince them that there was nowhere to run and nowhere they could go. But God showed otherwise. So don't let the enemy, they could have went right back with Pharaoh and the Egyptians and not been free. Or even worse. Don't let him have you walk backwards into something that you stepped away from. I just got that in my spirit. Keep walking forward even when you don't see a path. No matter what you think people are going to say to you or think of you. You have to keep going and you have to keep holding on with these tests. You understand? They are going to get ugly and difficult. But no matter what, as long as you hold on to God and know God is always there, you walking into everything that's meant and set for you. I had to get on here and express this and share this with y'all and be transparent because it's a lesson in itself, okay? Peace and blessings, and I will catch y'all in the next one.